Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Yes, sir. Thursday, April 16th. How we doing, fam? Good to hear you. Wish I could hear you guys. If we did a live stream, Jen, I could hear them, huh? Or I could at least read.
You'll see like a ticker, yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the second episode this week. Then you got your fan questions being answered on Sunday. We got a slow, I won't say a slow week because there's a lot happening in the Real Housewives of Mixed Martial Arts, but especially with the Netflix, when they did the whole press conference with Gina and Ronda. You do have a fight night this Saturday. You got Gilbert Burns, Mike Malott, Kyler Phillips, Charles Jourdain, Thiago Moises. Oof. Okay. We got two fight nights. Then you got Strickland Khamzat. So be cool, everybody. Be freaking cool. What are the odds on that Gilbert Burns, Mike Malott? I like Gilbert myself. He's a plus 240. You can never count him out. Mike Malott does get hit. Gilbert hits like a Mack truck. Y'all must have forgot about my boy Gilbert Burns. Not a great fight night. Again, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. You know, they're saving the well-known guys and the real contenders for the numbered cards. It's all good. It's all good. The talk of the town this week has been a few things. Really, what stole the week would be the press conference hosted by the great Ariel Helwani. Oh, boy. I think people are being reminded, love or hate what she says, how she acts, but I think especially the newer fans are getting reminded just what a star looks like, and that's Ronda Rousey. Again, she's pretty brash and says what's on her mind and shoots from the hip, and she's clearly not censoring herself, but that's what makes a star. That's why she was the biggest to ever do it. So the Netflix audience and the newcomers are getting introduced to Ronda Rousey. Play this clip, Chin. This is Ronda Rousey gets asked about Kayla Harrison. So they did train together. I think they were on the judo team together, the Olympic team, and they traveled internationally together. And I don't know if Kayla said anything too harsh, but Ronda was not a fan of it. Let's hear this, Jen.
And what was the Angie in shadow? So the next time she wants to talk shit, she can look down on her feet and consider who paid the road that she's walking on. Oh wait, she can't look down on her feet because she's too busy holding onto the belt and the neck brace. She goes on and says that I lied about training in judo in Canada in like 2006.
It's a deep cut.
Who the fuck are you to call me a liar, okay? I was training there for 5 months. Bitch, you weren't even there, okay? Over the last decade and a half of being a public figure, I have cultivated a reputation of being unabashedly truthful. This bitch just got here and started talking a lie. What did she say after she won the belt? She said, oh, I'm never going to say anything bad about Ronda. She took care of me when I was broke in Japan and bought the groceries. I want you to shut the fuck up and eat your groceries. And her and Hunter trying to act like her next upcoming fight is the biggest women's fight of all time. Then why is it being booked as a co-main as a for a men's interim title fight? Okay? The bitch isn't even bigger than Patty the Baddie. No offense to Patty, but I think he's got more potential than anybody in the UFC, and he should call me when his contract runs out. Here's another contradiction that I think is a fucking kicker, is if she thinks that her fight is the biggest women's fight of all time, why is she getting paid less now than I was 10 years ago? Are you overvalued or are you underpaid? And what really pisses me off more than anything else, I'm not fucking done, is how small she thinks. This is not just the biggest women's fight of all time. This is the biggest MMA fight of all time. It's going to get the most views on the biggest platform, on the card of the biggest stars, and will be headlined by two women who dare to dream big. And And this stream is going to bring more opportunities and greater revenue share to fighters than they've ever had before, because this fight is bigger than just me and Gina, and it's bigger than anybody on this stage. It represents an unstoppable force of change in this industry, spearheaded by the fighters themselves. Bet your fucking asses it's the biggest MMA fight of all time. Barton.
Stop it, Jen. Some of the stuff, she's dropping some fact bombs there, so she has some good points. Definitely 10-9 Ronda there. But that being said, she's getting confused on a few things. So when she says biggest MMA fight of all time, that's not true. No. That's not true at all. Strickland Khamzat's bigger than this, and that's a routine fight in the UFC, which they do it every month. So she's off on that, but I get it. It's, she's the main event. Now, in regards to what she did get right, when she says most watched fight of all time, that's correct. That would be correct because of the platform for Netflix. Now, is it the most watched fight of all time because of who's on the card? No, it's the most watched fight of all time because of the availability and the subscribers and how big Netflix is. Just to double down on my argument, and it's not even an argument, anybody, especially the viewers of this show, anyone who's followed MMA for a long time knows this. I'm not saying anything you guys don't know. But let's say if you put Khamzat Strickland on Netflix, it'd be the most watched fight of all time. Doesn't mean it's the biggest MMA fight of all time. Now, Paramount, I don't know, what they have, 60 million subscribers, something like that. Nowhere near Netflix. So it's a constraint, but it's still doing well. I'm sure if you took how many viewers out of the 60 million subscribers, the percentage of people that watched Khamzat Strickland compared to the percentage of whatever is 325 million subscribers that watch Netflix, there's more percentage, even though it's smaller in grand size of subscribers, there's more of a percentage of people tuning in percentage-wise into UFC and Paramount than they are Netflix. Because Netflix, some people are there just for fucking, the serial killer stuff. This guy, Narcos, all the wild shit they have on there, opposed to just tune in for the UFC. I'm sorry, for MMA. So there's that. But I would be curious if the roles were flipped and Gina and Ronda were on a say this is the pay-per-view days. If Gina and Ronda were on pay-per-view, how well would it actually do? Mm-hmm. Compared to just being basically, if you have a subscription, a $6 subscription, the low subscription on Netflix, those people are going to watch it. But how many would pay $79.99 for this fight card? Would it be the most watched view? No. It would do well. No doubt it would do well, especially in this day and age of the pay-per-view model. Boxing still does it. And the UFC, I think, outside America still does it, especially in Australia and Canada and certain parts of the world. But it would do well. It would do really well because you have Nate on there too, who's a big draw. Obviously, Ronda coming back. There's some excitement there. There's some mystery there. So I think it would do well. Would it be top 25 of all time? No. But she's right as far as the most watched fight. And that's also certain circumstances, it being on Netflix, So that's why it has, they can make those claims. Boy, is she upset with Kayla Harrison. And how about Kayla's responses? Fight me then. Cool, fight me. Who would you favor in that fight, Jen?
What do you think, dude?
Kayla.
100%.
She's active.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, Ronda and Gina both look in shape, ready to go. Ronda looks pretty freaking shredded.
They both look great, yeah. But
yeah,
I'd say Gina looks incredible.
As far as attractiveness.
Yeah, everything.
As far as like athletic in shape, Ronda looks
they both look great. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, Ronda looks, her neck, her fucking traps, her shoulder, like she's ready to fuck some people up. And I'll say this too, it's like, Gina Carano was on Ariel's show. It was a great interview, and because you don't hear a lot from Gina, and she was able to talk for a while, and she was talking about, and I had this concern. I shouldn't say I had this concern. I can see why people alluded to this, where they're like, man, because Ronda looks up to Gina, and Gina does not hate Ronda, and she's appreciative of the opportunity she's given her. So you're worried, like, man, these two are so friendly.
Yeah.
And I get how that can be a concern for a lot of you, especially if you're not familiar with MMA at a high level. But especially when it comes to females. Women fighters, more so than anyone, don't really, when that bell rings and they're inside that cage, they really don't give a fuck. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's different than men. Like, you'll get former training partners, or you get two Brazilians, or, you know, you get the Dominic Reyes, the Johnny Walkers of the world, where they just don't want to engage. In general, I mean, listen, I can give you some examples of some Esparza fights and stuff like that where it's not the most exciting. But in general, man, these girls, they're out for blood, dude. And also, Ronda's being super respectful, towards Gina. But I will promise you, the night of the fight, she's going to try and freaking tear her arm off. I'm not worried about those two getting after it. I'm just not. And Gina had a great response to it when Ariel asked that. He's like, man, you guys are so friendly. People are worried this is going to be like a glorified sparring match. And Gina was like, not when it comes to the fight night. It's just not what we're going to do. And she goes on to elaborate how female fighters, I'm telling you, I've seen them in the gym. It's just a different switch, man. They try to rip each other's heads off when they get in there. Even if they're best friends, training partners, they're just at a different level than the men for whatever reason. They just get after it. And she talks about how, it's her obligation, because Ronda's been chasing her for so long, to give Ronda what she's always thought she was going to get inside that cage. Like, it's her duty to give Ronda the respect and get after it, And I think she will. It's tough. You're talking about like a 17-year layoff, so in that respect, it's tough what she's trying to do. And what's this, Jen?
Oh, that you were mentioning Gina Carano on Ariel.
Gina Carano speaks openly on how it felt to be canceled. Oh, I got a take on this. Go ahead, though. Yeah.
What is it like going through that?
A cancellation?
A cancellation. Like, it feels like you were making it. You were on Star Wars. Mm-hmm. You had very few fighters graduate into Hollywood, right? You made it. Everyone knew who you were. Some people didn't even know that you were a fighter, probably, because you were doing that longer than the fighting. I got
to that point where I was like, wait, the actress is fighting Ronda? And like, they're like,
oh, wow.
Like, yeah.
Wow,
like,
wow.
I finally got to, I've worked my whole life to become an actress, right? After fighting. And now I'm going back to fighing. And
what is it like to make it to that point and it all comes crashing down on you?
Yeah.
You feel like it's all being taken away?
It's like somebody pulls the rug out from under you and you fall and you break your neck. And you really see how people, who people truly are to you at that moment. You see people not call, and then you see strange people call, and you're like, usually people who have been through something similar, hate, something. They've been through a certain amount of hate, and they can reach out like because of empathy or something. It's a very hard thing, but I liken it to just like, I had so much anxiety in my body that my face hurt, like my skin hurt me. I don't know if anybody's had that kind of, like, it hurt so bad, and my soul was just crushed. My heart was broken. I felt like there was such injustice in what happened. And it was just kind of so harsh, but it did teach me about the world and about people and about mobs and propaganda and how people can be so easily manipulated to hate someone that you don't even know. So I have this understanding now that, like, there's online personalities and friendships, and there's in-person, personalities and friendships, and those don't always go together. So sometimes you can unfollow somebody on the internet and and just see them in person and have that relationship. because everybody's a kind of different person online. So yeah, it taught me a lot about the world, and I'm happy to have had it lead me here, because I'm doing this thing that saved my life in the beginning, and now it's saving my life again. And it's fresh, it's exciting, it's groundbreaking, and I'm just, I feel like I just had to get back to who I am, and this is where it started.
And it's so interesting. So most of you know she got cancer, right? She said some stuff during COVID, alluded to the Razzies with it, you know, and it got taken out of hand. I'll say this, being friends with people who have been canceled, the whole cancel culture thing, and during the height of it, you know, right around COVID and after COVID, when it really started to get intense, and they were just going for anybody over any reason, and people were getting canceled left and right. The start of cancel culture was actually a good thing. It was a good thing. Like, you know, you got Harvey Weinstein out there. You got these real creeps, these bad people in the space. And then it just went overboard. They didn't stop. They started going for people from a tweet when they were 16, or something someone said, it gets taken out of context, but actually a really good person like Gina. It can go from people elaborating, making stuff up, and instead of getting their due justice, they're already canceled, lost their job, Hollywood stuff, stand up, my buddy Brian. So it just went too far. And I've seen it on both sides. Now, most comedians, actors, people in Hollywood haven't really had to fight. And when I say fight, meaning like a Gina Carano, like a professional fighter. They've never had to dig deep, work for something, and compete against another professional in combat sports. It takes everything you have, and to get to the level Gina was at, especially, you know, in her heyday, you're talking one of the best on the planet in female fighting, one of the very, very best, the face of the female movement. She's the Jackie Robinson of female fighters, right? In her DNA, she is a fighter. And I should say this too, you don't have to compete at a high level to be a fighter. I know people that, boy, they're fighters, but for whatever reason, they just didn't go down that road to be a professional, or they wrestled, and they're fighters. But alluding to Gina especially, and other people in the space, especially in MMA space, that fight, what got her to the highest levels of fighting, that's always in her DNA. It's always there. Sometimes you need to wake that beast up. Sometimes something has to happen to bring that beast out for whatever reason. And it doesn't have to be a cancellation, but something will heighten that animal that's in you, that fighter in you, that fighter instinct, and you're not going to quit. So when Gina was going through all her stuff and we defended her, right, on Fighting the Kid, on the Schaub show, it was ridiculous. There's some people I see when they do get canceled, and there's different degrees. It's a spectrum, right? Some, it's like he's super screwed, never coming back, and then this is a wash over. He should be okay, or she should be okay. With Gina's stuff, is like, oh my God, here comes woke Hollywood, and the mobs were out, and they're coming for her. This is 1,000% true. I never worried about Gina. I don't. There's other people that when they start going through cancellation, I'm like, they're never coming back. They just don't have that fighter's mentality. They're never coming back. Gina, I was never worried about, because I know we're cut from the same cloth. She's a fighter. You're not someone like Gina. She might have had stints where, you know, she stayed in bed and she felt like her world was over and she's brokenhearted. I get all that. That's normal. But eventually, over time, that fighter's going to start showing its face. And not only is she going to come back, but she's going to come back bigger, better, stronger than ever. And that's what we're seeing. And no matter what the result of the fight, she's a massive underdog, as she should be. But no matter what the result of that fight, Gina's won. Gina's won. Can you imagine being those cucks that canceled Gina Carano, took her livelihood, took her opportunities away in Hollywood? You know, she's on Star Wars, she's acting, she's in Deadpool, she's crushing it. She's done more in movies than anybody else in the MMA space. Like legit act for years and years, like legit actress. Like she's doing big shit, man. And they took that away from her. Can you imagine being those cucks that did that? And then all of a sudden, oh shit, Gina's lost weight. Yeah, man, she's a fighter. Yeah. Oh, you thought she was just going to stay at whatever she was, 200 pounds? Oh, you thought she was just going to move to Montana and go away? Oh, buddy. No. She's not one of these weaklings that you can pick on and shame into just the dark hole and you're never going to hear from them again. No. You're dealing with a fighter. So it might take her a little while to come back, and now you're seeing it. She's lost the weight. She's in shape. She looks better than ever. She's headlining she's going to headline the most watched MMA fight in the history of the sport. Her profile's bigger than when you canceled her and she had a show on fucking Disney in that bullshit Star Wars series. She's bigger now. She's making more money now. What do you think happens after this? She's going to parlay that into something. I guarantee you Hollywood comes fucking crawling back. Guarantee it. Because here's the reality. In real life, and Gina alludes to this, I could have told you this is how it happens. In real life, those directors and the heads of the movie studios, even Disney, I mean, their tails are between their fucking legs now. It's a shell of what it used to be. And they've lost all the money. They went woke. They're coming back. But even those executives and those agents and the heads of these networks and people associated with the networks and the other actors, they don't hate Gina. They just didn't have the balls to stick up for her when she needed them the most. That's all it is. So she could, I guarantee, after, no matter win, lose, draw, after this fight, she can walk into any major studio and be like, this is what I want to do. And they're like, yep, let's do it. They never hated her. Hollywood just doesn't have the balls to stick up for somebody when they're wronged. Or even if you think she made a mistake, she shouldn't lose her livelihood. She shouldn't be canceled. For what? And what she was saying about COVID turned out to be pretty fucking true. So now what's up? Hollywood? What's up? She's not one of these actors you guys can shame away and they just tuck their tails and crawl back into the cave and you never hear from them. You're like, yep, job's done here. No, bitch. You got a wolf. And you shame that wolf, maybe his tail went between his legs or her legs for a little bit, then that wolf's working. And it's going to come out of that fucking cave bigger, faster, stronger, and smarter. And better looking. That's what you're dealing with. Could have told you this was going to happen. She's not one of these actors that just says, oh my God, poor me, I'm the victim. It's never going to be the same. When I walk in the room, everyone's thinking this. She's a fucking fighter. We're cut from a different cloth. Y'all fucked up. And every actor, comedian, if you were wrongfully accused, you were shamed for a tweet, or something you said on a podcast, and you were canceled years ago, take a page out of fucking Gina's book. Get your shit together, pull your socks up, tie those boots tight, and get to fucking work. Look at Gina. She's the face of it now. But she's a fighter. Y'all aren't fighters. But maybe she can inspire you to get your shit together and get over it and move on and prove them wrong. That's what, and is now, I'm not saying if you did something horribly wrong. Harvey Weinstein, this isn't for you. This message is not for you. I'm not saying any of that. It's the people that were in similar spots to Gina, that were wrongfully accused, canceled during the mob. That's who I'm talking to. And you know who you are. Gina should be that inspiration where you go, fuck, if she can do it. Yeah, man, She was crazy overweight. But she somehow figured it out. I think it's awesome. Again, the fight, it has, take my bias out of it. In all honesty, it's a terrible fight for her. It's a very, very tough fight for Gina. She knows that. Her team knows that. It's a very tough fight. Ronda's a monster, dude. Monster. So you have this. When I look at the Gina Ronda fight, it's going to be the most watched fight. And if you know the ins and outs of their careers and personalities and the history of both of them, and their paths have never crossed. The only thing they have in common is Gina was the first. Gina walked so Ronda could run and the rest of the women's division could run. But also Ronda was the first to really pave the way for women in the UFC, but Gina never fought in the UFC. So that really doesn't, Gina's kind of like, yeah. I don't think Gina looks up to Ronda. Ronda looks up to Gina. But you have two stories here with Gina where it's a redemption story. You guys left me for dead, and I did nothing. You left me for dead. You took my livelihood. You took my passion for filmmaking, and you gave me no opportunities, and you fired me, and Disney paid a price. And shout out to Elon for covering her lawyer bills and stuff like that, because most people can't afford that, and then they do just go away. But Gina had some help because she's a good person, and that's the way the world should work. You pay it forward. So Gina's thing is you left her for dead. She gained all this weight. She got canceled. She looks better than ever, and she's saying, I'm here. I'm not dead. I'm here. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going to give it my all. I'm pretty fucking good. I can catch her, but it's going to be a tough fight. But I'm here, and this is the launching pad to the rest of my career in film. Ronda is a little bit of a different story because she was never left for dead. Ronda's thing is she's on the Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters. However you feel about her, whatever you think of her last two fights, she's the Mount Rushmore. She's one of the greatest fighters to ever compete in the UFC. Her and Conor are 1A, 1B as far as most famous. Ronda, I'd even say, is more transcending because she crossed over into pop culture. She did, the movies and all this shit. She was so mainstream, and she inspired little girls, especially at a time when it was available. When Gina was doing it, there wasn't really the warm welcome for female, especially young in gyms and stuff like that. When Ronda did it, and looking the way Ronda did, and being the size Ronda is, she's very feminine. So it encouraged young girls. And she was unapologetic. She was a savage, and she took the UFC by storm. And then somewhere along the way, I think it's due to the people surrounding her, she lost her way. And she decided to fight Amanda Nunes. And she decided not to do media. And she lost that fight really, really bad, right? And before that was the Holly Holm fight, which was shocking. But anybody that was around Ronda or kind of watched her fights knew the caveat there was Holly's the first real legit striker Ronda's ever faced. And there's holes in her game. And she was convinced, and it could happen. She was young too, man. You got to remember, she was young when all this was happening. I'm not making excuses, but imagine being a young fighter at her level, and you've never really fought a high-level striker. And they're telling you, and other major figureheads in the media are saying, she could beat Floyd Mayweather. She's the Mike Tyson of female fighting. And, her striking's so good. And her coach, saying that she could probably beat Anderson Silva. And you're just like, what? And it got out of hand. All the hype. And at the time, you really couldn't disagree with it because she was so, she was the it thing. She was so hot where if you say something that was different, you're looked at as a hater and you're full of shit. And look at her, she's undefeated. But if you look at a record, you're on Betch Coera, Kat Zingano, Alexis Davis, Sarah McMahon, Misha Tate, Liz Carmouche, Sarah Kaufman. I don't see any elite fighters. Yet you guys are telling me she's this elite striker. And she's working on striking 24/7. Okay. And then you have this girl, Holly Holm, this woman, who comes from an elite kickbox background. She gets to the UFC. When she gets to the UFC, she's with Greg Jackson, mind you, who's a mastermind when it comes to this. And I remember the time people are watching her fights and they expect her to go in there and just knock everybody out. But you see her using this footwork, this strategic kind of game planning. And at the time, it wasn't known. They didn't talk about it. But since the day she got signed to the UFC, her number one goal is to beat Ronda Rousey, the queen of the division, the number one star in the UFC. So those fights, they weren't exactly blockbusters. They weren't highlight reels. But Greg Jackson later alluded to, no, we knew she could beat those girls. We were working the game plan to beat Ronda. When we in training camp, we weren't training for the upcoming fight. We were using these training camps to get her ready for Ronda. We knew she could beat these girls in her sleep. We were getting ready for Ronda. And Ronda really doesn't have her eyes on Holly Holm. She's doing her thing. She's in movies. She's this star. She's traveling around. But here, this guest appearance, and she gets a little distracted. Again, I blame her management and her coaches. Anybody else would probably be like, yeah, this is what happens when you're a star. She's doing movies. Holly's fighting. And she's training at a high level with one of the best coaches to ever do it with Greg Jackson and Winklejohn. And they're literally training every day to game plan to fight Ronda. And then on November 15th, 2015, that fight comes to fruition in Australia. And Ronda legit thought she was going to knock her out. And she fucked around and found out that she's not a high-level striker. And she got kicked right in the fucking face. Right in the head. Right in the head. And then she becomes a victim of what most MMA fighters deal with today. At the time, it was kind of surprising, but it's kind of the way the MMA fan base has been, where people jump off the Ronda train. And she takes it personal. She feels like certain people in the space and figureheads and the fans took her for granted and they're hating on her. And then she goes away for a while, a little over a year, about a year and a month, right? And for whatever reason, the matchmakers decided to give her Amanda Nunes, where if you thought Holly Holm was a bad matchup, there couldn't be a worse matchup than Amanda Nunes. And she goes against Amanda Nunes and gets absolutely annihilated. She did no press for that fight. She's very upset with the media. Again, she takes it very, very personal. And then she feels like she was wronged. And in a million years, I never would have thought Ronda's UFC chapter would end it that way. Especially, you know, after she beat Liz Carmouche, there's no way you could have called this. There's no way. But that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And she goes into hiding for 10 years. 10 years. She was WWE, but never really took, you know, so she did some stuff there. She always wanted to fight Gina, and then she got it together. So this whole long rant going through both their, just giving you a little context of how we got to where we're at. For Gina, she walked through the fire and she made it. For Ronda, I don't know if it's fair to say it's a redemption story, because it's all self-inflicted. It's more of a I ain't going out like that story. Nah, I ain't going out like that. That's what this is. I ain't going out like that. And we're no longer playing the UFC game. We're no longer playing the UFC game. We're going to Netflix. And my God, do I hope there's longevity in what they're doing. Did you see they announced the fighters' pay? The minimum is 40 and 40.
Yeah, Ronda said something about it.
Is it 40 and 40 or 20 and 20?
I think 40 and 40. Well, I just saw 40,000 was the beginning. Is this the one? No, that's the wrong one. And
that's for everyone on
Oh no, so it is just straight up 40,000. So basically you get 3 fights a year, 40,000 each fight. If you're just the entry level person, so that's still 120 grand a year if you do 3 fights a year.
My question would be, so, and maybe she's alluding to this. So that means there's more after this. So that means,
I mean, if that's your first few fights, and then you start climbing up the ladder, of course you get more. But
yeah, but is again, I'm not criticizing them. I just don't know. Is Netflix MVP gonna sign these young up and comers? Because right now it's stacked with veterans. Like Lorenz Larkin making 40 grand. He's like, what?
Yeah,
that's a pay cut. You know, so yeah, it's great. So, and obviously they're going after the big fish, UFC, and comparing everything to the UFC. But they don't have the roster. They don't have as many fighters. So if it's like a Contender Series kid, that same experience, is Netflix going to sign him and pay him 40 grand? Awesome if they do. I'm just saying, what's the plan here? What's the plan here? You know?
I don't know, but for a beginning fight or to be your first fight in that organization, which it would suck if it's Lorenz Tate or someone that's been around for a long time.
Lorenz Larkin.
Lorenz.
Chin, my point is, you keep saying, well, if it's your first fight in Netflix ain't signing some young kid with 1-0 record, 3-0 record.
Yeah, but I'm saying
all the fighters on there all have for several years made more than 40 grand a fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so this isn't, to me, it's like it's a cool headline.
Let me see if she explains it all here, though.
It's important that we raise the ceiling, but also that we raise the floor. And one thing that I'm really proud of in this fight is the absolute minimum that anybody will walk away with, even if they don't have like a big long record, and even if they lose, is $40,000. And if you fight 3 times in a year, that is much more than a living wage, and that is something that the UFC cannot say. And I hope that everybody sitting here today is getting the biggest payday of their career. And well, maybe not for you. Maybe you've done better before. But in MMA, hopefully not against Conor McGregor. And I hope that after this event, we can keep raising that ceiling higher and higher and higher until it is on par with the highest level boxers, because that is really where the holy grail is.
That's just not realistic. Pause it, Chin. Go to the card for me. And they have the official card, right? It's done.
I have the one from Netflix itself. Hold on.
So, of course, Ronda, Gina, both, Francis, Philip Lins, Nate Diaz, Mike Perry, JDS, Despagnol.
They've been around, but they've been around for a while.
Kenneth Cross.
Mokai's been around.
Moraes, Lorenz Larkin, Jason Jackson, Piera. So maybe towards the bottom there.
Yeah, like Chris Avila and to be determined.
Yeah.
So, now I get what it is. So it's basically... Yeah, the absolute minimum would be 40,000. But if these guys have other fights on the record, doesn't mean they're getting 40,000. Yeah,
it's a good thing. My whole thing with all this is great for this one card. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell yeah, everyone's making money. I'd love it. What now? Was this May 15th? Come May 16th, what's the plan? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's May 16th.
Come the night of May 16th, the morning of May 17th. What's the plan, Netflix? Because I'm all for this. 40 is the minimum. That's sick. And are we building guys? Then hell yeah, let's ride, man. This is dope. It's great. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I don't see a bad thing here. Unless they
No, there's nothing bad here. There's nothing negative here. The thing is their longevity and
how they're going to scale it from that point. Yeah, but I feel like that
is it going to be 5-6 cards a year? Like if I'm Netflix, I do 6 cards a year. Old school UFC, big names, some upcomers, and they get paid. They get paid because if you're only doing 6 cards a year, that's where it gets tricky, and you're going to have to pay them more because they can't live, if a guy's fighting once a year making 40 grand, you can't live off that. So if you're fighting 6 times a year, now we're cooking.
Yeah, that's a good. I don't know how many cards they're gonna have. Let me see if there's any projections at all.
There's not.
Okay, never mind. Because I mean, when I see these events, they come out randomly out of nowhere, and it's just like a long time before the next card. Mm-hmm. Unless there's like a.
And also, they don't have the roster or the bodies to do a fight every month. So if you make it special, like what the UFC used to be, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. But again, in order to get that big name talent from the UFC, if they're currently signed with the UFC and they're just waiting for the contract to expire, they got to go, okay, I can't leave the UFC and sign with MVP if you're only doing one fight a year. There's no way. So I'm down to leave, but you have to promise me this many fights. You have to guarantee me, like the UFC does.
Yeah,
which the UFC can do because they have so many fighters, they have so many cards to fulfill. But for Netflix, like if you want to get young, like not over the hill talent, like current ranked guys to leave the UFC, you gotta put on more than 2-3 fights a year. And if that's the plan, let's go. This would be awesome.
At the very least, since this announcement came out, they have to do at least give them three cards a year, or what adds up to 3 cards a year for them. Like, you know, even if they only fight twice, they're still paying for the 3 potential fights.
What else you got, brother?
Yeah. So, what do you think about Ronda Rousey? Gosh, damn, Ronda Rousey bringing up my brain's off right now. But Ronda Rousey, you know, saying that why are they bringing up the girls' ages when they're not bringing up like the guys' ages, like Jon Jones?
No, we bring it up. We bring it up.
But I mean, it seems
because Jon Jones didn't take 10 years off.
That's the more important factor, yeah.
But that's where age comes into it. With a guy or girl, like for Gina taking 17 years off, and like, fuck, man, you're in your 40s now. So it's going to be something we allude to. If Ronda never took any of the time off and Gina's been fighting this whole time, no one even talks about it. Yeah, they're current, they're scrapping. All right, that makes sense. We have something to compare it to. But now when one takes 10 years off, one takes 17 years off, like, dude, it's been a hot second since you fought, you know?
Yeah, that's the major thing. But yeah, I don't know if people are focusing on the years off there, or they're just saying the age difference.
And again, it's not criticism. It's just like...
Oh, that's an older one.
Yeah, it's not criticism. It's more of like, man, you're 10 years off, you're 17 years off, you know? That's all it is. What else you got, bud?
Oh, yeah, what do you think about this? The fact that Tom Aspinall wasn't invited to the UFC London card, even though he's still the champion.
I don't know what's up with that. I don't think it's a matter of the UFC hating on Tom. I literally think they're so swamped that
this is huge, though. Right?
Dude, I know. I literally think, and you know, there's all sorts of gossip around the water cooler on how overwhelmed the UFC staff is. I literally think they just try and put the card and get everything going and get the fight started. No one was like, oh shit, shouldn't we invite Tom Aspinall?
It has to be.
I think Eddie said they did invite him, but it was like 2 hours before it started, and he lives 3 hours away. So he was like, no, I can't. You're gonna call me day of? Yeah, it's very. Look at Josh Hokit. We're going a different direction.
Yeah. The little winky emoji. Okay, so I think Nick sent this in the group chat. Like Alex Perez heavyweight look right now. So I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, it looks like he's just been enjoying life. It looks like the weight's mainly in his midsection and face.
Especially with the silhouette there.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to like it.
Yeah, it's Poton, so you're like, all right, he'll be fine. He looks thicker. His shoulders look good. You know, that midsection's thick, Bubba. So it looks like he put a lot of weight, you know, it's like he almost looks bloated, you know?
Oh, yeah. Because usually,
but again, if he can still crack, as long as my biggest concern for him, and this is always my concern when guys are moving up a weight class and put weight on, is like, man, speed your advantage. Cyril Gane too, man. Like, we need speed to beat this guy. So you just hope that he doesn't put on all this weight and it slows him way down, and that's trouble. What else you got, bud?
Yeah, I guess we won't know until we actually see his performance. So
yeah,
just looks.
You don't want to criticize the guy based off looks. Otherwise,
but it looks way better.
We would have made fun of Fedor every fucking fight.
Yeah, but he had some sort of like a dope thick look to me. But anyway,
Cain Velasquez that wasn't shredded. Nogueira wasn't
Jon
shredded.
Jones is probably the best. Like, he just looks like he just gained weight, like no muscle.
Yeah, but Jon doesn't look great at heavyweight. That's the issue.
No, that's what I'm saying. Jon Jones, when he went to heavyweight, he just looks like like he just ate food. Do you want to cover this? We kind of covered it on Fighter and the Kid.
Yeah, and Brian didn't know who he was. That's all good.
But yeah.
So D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez, coming off a huge win. I think he's won 3 in a row now. If you guys don't know this, he tried I think he drove from San Diego to California, or to Mexico.
Tijuana, yeah.
And he had weed in his possession. And instead of throwing it out, which he thought about, he decided, he goes, that's not a big deal. I can get away with it. They found it, and they put him in prison out there. And he thought it was going to be like a 1 or 2 week thing. He was there for 8 months.
Yeah, which is insane.
Insane.
For a little bit of weed.
And he just got out and said he did some training in there. And then, he wants a big game hunt now, which it makes you a little worried. Because like, damn, dude, you've been fucking prison for a hot second. And it looks like they might give him Leon Edwards.
And this is him here with TMZ Sports.
Wow, did they offer that to you? Man, I'll be real with you guys. I'm probably looking about International Fight Week, and I got an amazing offer. So you guys will probably see me in there with Leon Edwards, International Fight Week, man. That's sometime around July. Wow, did they offer that to you? Just today, man. And been thinking about it. Made the decision right now. I'm accepting the offer for Leon Edwards, International Fight Week.
Good for him. How can you not root for that guy? It's not like he did anything,
Dude, it's perfectly legal, most places, so that sucks, dude.
Tijuana, Mexico is a little different, especially with the immigration stuff. They're coming after Americans. It's like...
But, I mean, he looks as Mexican as can be, too.
That's he looks like a cartel member.
Yeah, he looks like he fits in perfectly.
So I think, how can you not root for that guy?
Yeah, dude, 8 months is just... Insane. Come on, dude.
Insane.
This one I thought was pretty funny. So, Kevin Holland, that's why I tied him in together, because he apparently bailed out D-Rod, which I don't know if it's actually true.
That's not true, and D-Rod on Ariel was talking about it.
Oh,
it's not true.
Then why did he admit to it then? Just playing it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a fun story, but I don't think it's true.
Okay.
And D-Rod already beat him too, so D-Rod was like, yeah, I'm kind of big game hunt, my man. If something were to happen, maybe, but I'm trying to, see how far I can take this.
Message to him was, do everything that you can do to get everything you got to get out of life. And once again, if that bag fumbles or if my bag rises high enough to the equation, I'll be right there ready for my rematch. So nothing but the best for all of these guys in the organization. But when it comes to me and these guys who's beat me before, my job is always to get my league back. It's the big payback, and I always want it.
For sure.
Unless it's Chimaev. Leave me the fuck alone. Message to him.
That was super funny.
Try to get this payback. Unless it's Khamzat, dude. Just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Good for him.
All right, so this is Josh Hokit, essentially breaking character after his interview was done.
I love this.
You know what I'm saying, dog? Look at that dog. He's shaking, dog. Look at him. He's shaking, dog. He's scared, dog. Straight up, homie. Look at that Sith roll, homie. That hard, dog. Revenge of the Sith, dog. Hey, Revenge of the Vato, homie. Straight up, dog. Hey, thank you, dog. Well, sorry about
You can tell he's a good dude.
Absolutely,
yeah. You can tell he's a good dude. And it's working. But people hate on it. It's so funny.
It's so weird. That's why. But I mean,
the balls it takes and the amount of energy it takes to do that all the time in every interviews.
Yeah.
Like I had a guy reach out. He's like, "Hey, are you interested in interviewing Hokit?" I love Hokit.
Yeah.
I said, but if he stays in character,
it's tough, right?
Yeah. Like if we're just doing the, "Hey, dog, what's up, Vato?" Like that'd be tough for me. It's just I have no interest. I don't. I was if he wants, I'd love to talk college football with him, talk shop, talk about wrestling, how in college he managed the All-American wrestling status and being a football player, walking on. We have so much we can relate to. But if you're gonna come on in character, it's like I can't. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to play a bit with him. You know.
I hear you, but you were able to have what Colby, I think, right? Break character.
No, only really off air.
Oh, I thought it was during.
No, only off
Okay.
air. Yeah, I told him because Kobe came on at the time, and I've known Kobe a while. Kobe's a good dude.
Yeah, that's what everybody says.
He's a good dude. And I was like, hey, and he came with these two like random strippers he hired or some shit. And I was like, buddy, you don't need to do, especially here. Like, you don't need to do this, man. And he's kind of like, yeah, I do. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And I'm like, man, I really wish you just let people get to know the real Kobe because they would love him. And it seems similar for Josh Hokit. Like, I'm not saying don't do your thing. And maybe you don't want to show that side because you're worried it might mess things up. And clearly keep doing what you're doing because you're going to be fighting for a title and you're on the White House card and all that shit. But man, would love just to talk shop.
Well, hopefully he hears that and he does. Like, I don't think everybody knows it's a freaking weird character thing he does. So
yeah, but if you come on my show and you drop the gimmick, I don't know.
All right, no, whatever. Yeah. Did you enjoy the White House promo?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to watch it or?
Sure.
Okay.
It's all AI though, yeah.
I think it's like a mixture.
On one night and one night only, we are going to pull off the boldest idea in sports history.
But he is facing Justin Gaethje. He is a savage, and he doesn't run away from anything. But he's moving up to fight Cyril Gane, the most athletic heavyweight in the game.
It looks so dope. I was watching a Sugar Sean interview. I think it's on his podcast. He was talking about he got a little insight to everything about the White House. I guess he was in Vegas. They were telling him about it. And they can't build the structure now because you can't have it sitting on the lawn.
You can't.
No. So they're going to have to do it like shortly before the fight. Like the week before, 2 weeks before.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They can't have it like now and just have it sitting on the White House lawn, you know?
What's the reason though?
Because it's the fucking White House. You just can't occupy all that space, man.
Okay. This one's, I don't know, not that crazy, but so Aiden Ross says he has tickets to the White House event, and then P has offers from other people that want to buy it for $1 million, but he's like, I can't do that because I respect Dana White too much. I guess,
Also, if you do that, you're never getting another ticket.
Yeah. But $1 million is fucking a lot of money.
That makes sense.
He's super rich though, so it doesn't even matter.
That makes sense though. You know, that ticket.
Yeah, no one can really
so
get
hard to get in.
Yeah.
So hard.
You have to have like the best connection in the world.
I got the best connection in the world and I don't have a ticket.
Well, there you go. This is Ray Longo talking about Yuri Prochazka and basically his excuse about, you know, the whole Mercy thing.
Let me see it.
Yeah, let me refresh this real quick.
Just mental illness in MMA. It's something is, you know, it's all funny when the guy's praying up on Mount Olympus and standing on his bed drinking his own piss. But this is what happens, man. This is what happens. That poor guy was confused like, Mercy. Mercy. What the fuck? I mean, dude, you blew the fucking fight. What's that thing? You blew it. You blew it. You know, the guy wants to come back
Adam
now and say,
Sandler.
but you fucking blew it. Holy shit, you got to be kidding me.
So you're saying as a coach, you wouldn't have had any mercy on him?
Definitely not. That guy, first off, his first His first training is to go back and watch the Karate Kid 1.
I thought of that too. I thought of that too.
This guy is
Sweep the leg.
You gotta be kidding me. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It disgusts me.
So he was upset.
I'm with him. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And this is Olberg basically talking about the same thing with Ariel.
But I don't like someone that's just going to make excuses just to try and get another shot like that. No way, not with me.
You've seen this stuff since the fight and it has bothered you.
Yeah, like exactly. And because so I think this whole narrative was kind of fed into him, but then also as I was going through the media and people were going with it, I was like, what's going on? There was no mercy, but I had to kind of, I didn't get time to rewatch the fight and figure out where that was. Because I had to see, okay, well, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I was so worried about my leg that I couldn't see that. But I went to watch the fight over again, and then I was like, actually, no, there was none. I wasn't missing anything. And since then, it's just been like, I don't like that he's trying to use this narrative to make an excuse.
Yeah, so honestly,
it's such a shame. Like, Fury's beloved, and it's like, man, even if you thought you were given mercy, which I don't think he does, I think it's an excuse. But even you don't say that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to do you any. It's not going to win you any fans, dude.
Yeah, that kind of takes away from this.
Like, what the fuck you talking about, dude? I had one leg and knocked your ass out. What are you talking about? Imagine if I had two, bud. It's a shame.
He does take a little bit of that awesomeness out of him.
Yeah, the warrior weight ain't fucking giving your opponent mercy.
No, if anything, it's just to kill everything
weak,
in front of you.
dude. It's weak.
So Carlos also mentioned that he lost his belt. I don't know if they found it yet, but he lost it partying afterwards.
Who the fuck takes him? What do you do with it? He goes, I had one drink, then one thing leads another. Yep. Interesting. Have they called the club their party yet?
I'm sure they must have found it by now. That's a very, very obvious thing that if someone stole it. Apparently Josh Hokit jumped to number 5. But you know what? I didn't check it as of late, so
he's still 5. He's 5.
Oh, that's awesome. Then.
So they only update him on Tuesdays.
Yeah. No.
If you update it if you looked at it on Tuesday, it won't change.
No, I know. But I'm saying, like, sometimes when people beat people on top of them, it doesn't move them up that much either. But in this instance, it did.
I mean, on ranked, you beat the number 4 guy.
But he was down all the way.
He wasn't even ranked.
Yeah.
But you beat the number 4 guy, it makes sense. And they need life in the division. I'll tell you what, I like his chances against 4 through 1. It's just the caveat there's Tom Aspinall is the champ. That's his by far toughest matchup. The rest of them, Sergey, I like that for him. Acosta, I love it for him. Volkov, tougher fight, but I like it for him. Especially Volkov's gonna have such a reach advantage. Cyril Gane fight, I like. Again, I'm not saying it's easy fights, but stylistically, they're not bad.
After watching his fight with Curtis,
not bad.
Now I'm like, oh my God, for sure.
But I'm saying this in hopes he's not going to continue to fight like that. Hopefully he integrates wrestling in some of these matchups. If he goes just that Rock'em Sock'em Robot, those are awful fights for him. Especially Pavlovich, Costa, Cyril Gane. If you just play Rock'em Sock'em Robots, that's a nightmare. I'm saying these are great matchups if he utilizes all aspects of mixed martial arts.
I think just the fact that he went in there with Curtis and did all that stuff, he knows a lot more about how to fight these top guys.
Yeah, hopefully.
Don't worry about that. Oh yeah, I was looking at this earlier, but so they're like mixing the numbers to show how much the Paramount card made or how many viewers it had. And what do you think of these numbers?
So CBS
simulcast when they do it at the same time.
Once again, pays off. What do you mean does at the same time?
But whatever the app is,
CBS and UFC.
Show. Huh?
Is it CBS and UFC or just on the?
So Paramount? CBS is actually the TV part of it, and then the app is the Paramount Plus.
Wow. CBS once again pays off for UFC with the most watched telecast for MMA outfit in 10 years. 2.65 million viewers for UFC 327 on Saturday. That tops 2.47 million for UFC 326. Wow.
Yeah, that's combining all the numbers, which, that's what everyone does. But that's a Tyson Fury one.
Seeing that's on Netflix. So out of 365 million subscribers, a fraction of them watch Fury fight.
Yeah. And that's like, we don't even know who's, well, I mean, I don't really know much about his opponent either. It's just Fury that was popular there.
Yeah, I mean, Fury's going to be a draw no matter what.
Yeah. This is a bummer to see. I don't know many details about it, but Mark Hunt was arrested for domestic violence.
Yeah, so the headline says, ex-UFC star Mark Hunt arrested for domestic violence, allegedly threatened to murder a woman. That's not ideal.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I'm just going to murder you in the end anyway. The 50-year-old MMA legend allegedly texts a woman. Wow. Wish him the best. Let's wait till we get more details. That's not good.
All right. The other ones are just kind of whatever.
Should we go to fan questions?
Yeah.
All right, folks. Fan questions. We'll answer the Instagram ones on the episode today and then save the majority of the YouTube ones for Sunday's show. We might sprinkle some in here, but the majority of it will be for Sunday's show. So if you're watching this, you're like, man, how do I get a question answered? You can DM me, but the best way, which for sure to get answered, is in the YouTube comments below on the most recent episode. Nick and Chin see them, and then they map them out for us. So that's the easiest way. So let's get to it. Again, thank you guys so much for sending all the questions. There's so many. We try to get to them. That's why we created the Sunday show. So keep sending them. It will get answered. All right? Love you guys. Let's get to it. This is from my boy, Mike Catherwood. Shout out to Mike Catherwood. So he says, Blades vs. Hokit is the first fight since Bonner vs. Griffin where people were actively texting, calling me during the fight to say, are you watching this shit? How important is that kind of buzz, and will the fight be a start to some form of movement for the UFC, especially in the struggling heavyweight division? Yes, Michael. Great question. Agree. It's one of the first fights, Bonner Griffin, that was definitely, kind of a pillar in the history of the UFC and create momentum. When Anthony Pettis, that was actually in the WC when he jumped off the cage and kicked Benson Henderson. There's a few times where I stand up, and this Hokit and Blades fight, I couldn't sit down. I'm like, oh my God, are you people seeing this? Like, I had to go to social media and give a take on it. It was so fucking good. I never do that because usually I'm just tuned into the fights. I think it does create a buzz. It does two things. It creates the buzz that the UFC needs, especially on this new platform with Paramount, where people are like, holy shit, this is really cool. So it's engaging and enticing to new fans. But then I also think for the hardcores like myself, like Mike, like Chin, like Nick, like all of you watching this, it's like, this is why we love it. Fuck yeah. And we haven't had one of those, especially in the heavyweight division, in so long. So it's exactly what the doctor ordered. Hokit, no matter what, if he goes on to win the rest of his fights, loses a few, whatever it happens, this will always be special and a big, big moment, especially being on a new platform in Paramount. And goes to show it's the most watched fight ever in 10 years. So pretty big deal, man. Pretty big deal. Joe_Arena34. Two-part question. Do you think Dana and Trump added Lewis and Josh Hokit to the White House card in response to Ronda card looking as good as it is? Both Dana and Trump are not ones to be shown up. Let's answer that first, so I can get to the second one. Do you think Dana and Trump added Derek Lewis and Josh Hokit to the White House card in response to Ronda's card looking as good as it is? No. I think it was fly by the seat of the pants thing. I think Trump being like, yo, why isn't my favorite fighter Derek Lewis on the card? And then Rogan during the broadcast being like, we need to get Hokit on the White House card. I think it was just this perfect storm. The UFC White House card has better fighters from top to bottom than the Netflix card. It's a better card. I always say this, the issue is not that it's not a great card, it's that we are promised the best of all time. So that's where the criticism comes from. But with that being said, the White House card overall, as far as legit fighters in their prime, contenders, champions, it's a much better card. Yeah, don't get it twisted. So no, I don't think it was a response. I think it's awesome they added it, and I think we need more American fighters on that card, and this guarantees American wins. I think out of everybody on the card, if Hokit wins, which he should, he's going to give by far the best interview after amongst all those elite and the oligarch and the whole weird, people sitting cage side. And that's probably the thing dude, this is crazy to say. I think since the White House card got announced, I was like, yeah, I like that. Poatan, Sorogan, I'm definitely interested in that. Justin Gaethje has a big hill to climb. All right. Bo Nickal has a tough fight. All right. Diego Lopez. All right. Take it or leave it. I'm most excited for Hokit's fight.
Yep.
Out of all the fights on the White House card, I'm most excited for Hokit to fight. It makes that card so much more fun. And I always tell you guys this, nothing's better than the climb. As Miley Cyrus said, the climb. So Hokit right now is on the climb, so jump on. Because as a fan, there's nothing better than watching a prospect climb to the top and being on that journey. So I'm telling you, do yourself a favor, jump on board. Whether you like his antics or not outside the octagon, don't give a shit. Jump on board the climb. Second part, if you take the champs from 2016 and the champs from today, head to head, who would win in each weight class? Type in champs 2016 UFC, Jen. It's right around the time I retired. Champions, Fabricio Verdum, light heavyweight DC, middleweight Luke Rockhold in his prime, welterweight Woodley, lightweight Conor McGregor in his prime, featherweight Jose Aldo because Conor gave it up. Bantamweight Cody Garbrandt in his prime. Flyweight DJ. Bantamweight Amanda Nunes, Joanna. Okay. Compared to the champs now, the current champs now, Volkanovski would still be your champ. I don't think Peter Yan would. Joshua Van definitely wouldn't be. You'd have DJ there. At lightweight, who's the champ at lightweight in 2016? If you go back,
yeah,
Conor McGregor. Oof, Conor in his prime versus Ilia Topuria in his prime. I'd probably go Ilia would be champ there.
Okay.
So you have Islam and Ilia would still be champ. Islam would beat Woodley. Ilia would beat Conor. At light heavyweight or at middleweight, the champ was Luke Rockhold in his prime. Khamzat would be champ. Yeah. Khamzat would be champ. Light heavyweight, Carlos Olberg would not be champ if DC was present.
Oh, yeah,
so DC would be champ. And at heavyweight, Verdum would be champ.
Against Aspinall?
Yes.
I said Aspinall.
Yep.
All right.
Good question, though, dude. That's fun to do.
Yeah.
They were motherfuckers back then. _Ryan._.07_. Too many underscores, too many dots, my man.
So back here.
Same question. With Hokit insane last fight, Poatan moving up, Gable getting signed, do you think we're close to seeing heavyweight become an actual quality division again? Yeah, you got two guys, Bubba. Second question, how hyped would you be for a potential Gable versus Hokit fight? It's too soon for Gable, but in a year or two, that's a massive fight, I think. Couldn't agree more, but I do think we got to pump the brakes on Gable. His last fight, he did get wheel kicked. Good opponent, but, I would like to see him get 4 legit fights. Like, not Uber drivers, not guys unranked, like... You start off with that. So his first 2 fights, build the momentum. Then the third fight, maybe someone right outside the top 15 or 15. And then fourth fight, someone around 12. And then go to it. So I would say 6 fights for Stevenson. And build it. Build them. Don't push them too fast because we really don't know what we got yet.
Pure Mur something.
Pure Mur. Brendan, recently I've noticed more and more you keep dropping comments about getting back in for one more fight if the money was right. No, man, it's the only reason I allude to it is because of the fan questions. Or Nick asked me or, Brian asked me, but notice I don't really bring it up. I've been offered fights, guys. I've been offered recently as 6 months ago. I've been offered fights. Good money. Yeah. Years ago, you would have always shut it down. That's because I was doing stand-up. I couldn't take away from that. So that's why, especially back, and I wasn't as in good shape, so that's why. Is this the case if the money and opponent was right, or there's still no chance whatsoever? How much are we talking for you to get your attention, to get you out of bed for that one fight? Yeah. How do I answer this? The biggest issue is I'd have to put everything on hold, right? So that affects my family, especially my kids, the coaching. Baseball season ends in about a month and a half, 2 months from now. My youngest playoffs start in a week. So his season to end, I coach his team. I don't coach my older son's team, but I do coach their football team, the tackle team. And that starts in July. And that's, July to freaking, it's probably 9 or 10 weeks. So imagine I take a fight. I miss all that. I can never get that back. Can never get back coaching my kids for the first time in tackle football. There's not a fight or person on the planet that can get me to skip that. There's just not. And it's not that I'm that rich or I'm balling where I can turn it down. I would love the money. But it's just, I'm not driven by money. I'm just not. I'm driven by my kids' happiness and being there for them. So I just grew up, man, and I'm smarter with my money, not as dumb with certain things. So I'm okay. I'm not, Elon Musk. I'm not Rogan, but I'm okay. Especially for having the career I've had. I'm doing okay. The other issue is the fight I was offered about 6 months ago. It was against a killer. You guys all know him. He's on the Netflix card. You guys all know him. He's a killer. And I'm like, buddy, I haven't fought since 2015. Like, I'm fucking Gina Carano. I've been in media. I've been doing this shit. I'm Gina Carano, but I don't look as good. So it's like, that can't be the first fight. Like, if you're down to give me someone like boxing does, and it's a tune-up fight, it's a good warm-up fight to shake off the dust, but you got to compensate me, then I would entertain it. But they want to go right to big name, main event. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So if someone out there was like, hey, we'll give you this tune-up fight, and we're going to pay you very well, and we'll market it, and then let's see how it goes, and then if you win that, fight this guy, I'm open to that. But with these leagues, they're like, man, we're paying you a lot. You got to fight a guy because we got to get our money's worth. So they weren't willing to budge on that. So no, I would be open to it, but it can't be someone that's formerly in the top 10 in recent years, and it's a killer. For my first fight, I'm down to do that. My second fight, bring it on. But the first fight, I would need to warm. I haven't fought in fucking forever. I've been through camp. I got my quad, my hammies are always fucking pulling these days. So it would take a lot for me to get going. So I don't look for it. I don't ask for it. If it came across my desk and it was the right matchup and the right pay, I would have a hard time turning it down. I'll put it that way.
Last one here.
Bantam_electric. Hot take. We see a better level of fighting now than back in the day. Let me think about that. Training technique has improved. We're just missing the big name fighters that give the card a pop. Most of the big names we associate with fights were already champions taken from other leagues. Yeah, like, Yuri came from KSW. Patty came from Cage Wars. These guys got to come from somewhere, Poton came from Glory. But that's with anything, these guys create a name, there's a few guys that the UFC have self-built, but they're far and few between. Back to your point of a better level of fighting. I would say the women's division has actually gotten worse. I would say the heavyweight and light heavyweight actually lower level of fighting from even 2014, 2016. Certain divisions are headed in the wrong direction just because they don't have the fighters, the roster, and a lot of bigger guys aren't entering into fighting because of money issues. But like light heavyweight, yeah, the lighter weights, yeah, a little more skilled. But then when you think of DJ, that motherfucker's more skilled than anybody walking the planet right now in that division. Ilya Topuria, he's up there. Yeah. He's probably the more skilled. Islam Makhachev skilled. But overall, it's not like this overwhelming, like, oh my God. Like when you look back at like Babe Ruth to Otani or some shit, it's like, nah, it ain't that big of a jump. Especially in the heavyweight division. I'd say it's much, much worse. And in the women's, much, much worse. Is that it, brother?
That's it.
All right, guys, we will answer all new questions on this Sunday show. If you want your question answered, put in the YouTube right now. We will get to all of them. So the best way to get your questions answered is by submitting it in the YouTube comments. All right. Love you guys. And we are changing it. Breaking news. I think I announced on Monday too. We are changing it from we listened to you. We saw all the comments, all the DMs. Everyone wants Big Brown Breakdown to come back. I'm my graphic designer, working on the graphics. So hopefully in the next very short time, you'll see that it's the Big Brown Breakdown. We got the intro song. We just need the graphics, and we'll change all the YouTube and Apple and Spotify. So we're working on it. We hear you. We love you. We'll get it done. All right, guys. Love you. Have a great weekend. Dads, good luck to your kiddos playing baseball this weekend. And if you see me at the field, come say what's up. I will see you guys next time. Enjoy Sunday's Q&A. I'm out.
When you're in a bind, you will find a new fight card to be broken down. And you can't fall asleep, 'cause he'll go balls deep on a card coming Saturday night. It's Big Brown, Big Brown, the Big Brown Breakdown coming to your town. He's big and he's brown, the Big Brown Break.
Some of that was good.
Down.
Brendan Big Brown
Yeah.
Dude. Dude, that is fucking badass.
One more?
All right, man.
He's playing with house money now. It's what I like to do. This is what Chin and I it's all gravy at this point.
Fight card to be broken down. So tired, so deep. Card coming Saturday night. Ooh, breakdown coming to your town.
Some of that was good.
Brendan Big Brown